Happy Halloween!
We are back with our favorite
and least popular
episode of the year. We love Halloween and take advantage of this holiday to come up with a different style of podcast episode to suit the spooky holiday.
We have this week's podcast along with the notes and all the stuff that we have on our website to scare the pants off of you at StressLessCamping.com. Thank you for joining us, those 5 of you that do, for our Halloween episode 331.
Don't forget to like and share. And thank you for joining us.
Spooky Camping.
I am Tony.
I am Peggy.
That diet's working. And we're 2 RV industry veterans who travel part-time
in a Rockwood Mini Light,
looking to share big adventures and help you with great tips,
tricks,
and discounts. Boy, if you don't want to be spooked by solar and lithium, perhaps you should follow our footsteps and join the many people who have been thrilled with the service and products from ABC Upfitters. ABC Upfitters installs Master Volt power system so things don't go bump in the night. Their systems are reliable and they're all from one manufacturer, so there's no finger pointing. You don't want to end up in a grave situation.
No.
And you don't want to do it yourself because that is quite an undertaking. So if you're looking for a reliable solar and lithium solution for your RV that just works, give our friends at ABC Upfitters a ring. 574-333-3225.
That's 574-333-3225, or check the show notes for links and information.
On this week's episode, what we thought we'd do is take you with us to ghost towns around the U.S. and places you can see haunted things and camp nearby. We have 13 ghost towns and the campgrounds near them. And we're going to start in California at Bodie.
Now, Bodie Ghost Town is usually the first one listed on every ghost town list that you can find. This California gold rush town, frozen in a state of arrested decay, is known for strange sounds, cold spots, and apparitions.
This former gold mining town is a prime example of frozen in time ghost towns. It's famous for preserved buildings, lingering ghost stories, and a curse rumored to befall anyone who takes a souvenir.
Indeed, rangers have received letters and packages from past visitors hoping to lift the curse by returning what they've stolen.
The town is named for W.S. Bodie, who had discovered small amounts of gold in the hills north of Mono Lake. In 1875, a mine cave-in revealed a rich vein of ore, which led to purchase of the mine by the Standard Company in 1877.
People flocked to Bodie and transformed it from a town of a few dozen to a boom town. In 1881, Bodie's bust began, and the town's population declined drastically. Only a few remained.
Mining officially ceased in Bodie in 1942, the final nail in the coffin of Bodie's township.
2 large fires in 1892 and 1932 forced the remaining residents to depart, leaving Bodie almost exactly as it was in the early 1900s.
Today, you can see roughly 10% of the 2,000 structures that were once there, but those that remain are evocative.
Peer through the windows to see dinner tables still set, shops still stocked with supplies, and the schoolhouse with lessons on the chalkboard.
Be warned, bad luck is said to befall anyone who steals anything from the site while visiting. Don't miss the cemetery on the hill with its absolutely forlorn viewpoint over the town.
Designated as a National Historic Site and a State Historic Park in 1962, the remains of Bodie are being preserved in a state of arrested decay, a term specifically created to describe the maintenance of Bodie State Historic Park.
The state of California will intervene only to prevent the remaining buildings from collapsing or deteriorating further, but no major restoration efforts will be conducted as a way to preserve the characteristics of this unique ghost town.
I have visited Bodie, and I hope that we can go back again sometime. When you're in the area, you might also want to check out Bridgeport and Mono Lake.
Places to camp include Willow Springs RV Park and parks on the Bridgeport Reservoir.
Travertine Hot Springs dispersed camping makes a lovely backdrop for an overnight and some hot springs.
And honorable mention, Benton Hot Springs. We actually went there, and it's also a really cool, almost ghost town, and each campsite has its own hot tub.
Our second ghost town is Goldfield, Arizona.
From the folklore and mystery of the Superstition Mountains to the ghost sighting in the town, the area of Goldfield is one of the most haunted places in Arizona.
Based between the eerie Superstition Mountains and the dense Goldfield Mountains, Goldfield, Arizona was established in 1893 after the discovery of high-grade gold ore.
The area was nicknamed the Devil's Playground by the Apaches.
By its peak, Goldfield's population hit 4,000, and the town built an infrastructure to accommodate the growing community, including a hotel, general store, church, school, and post office.
In 1897, the once prosperous gold veins began to run dry. The quality of the gold dropped. Miners in the town moved along to the next town with lots of promise.
After the miners departed, the rest of the residents followed, and by 1898, the post office shut its doors.
In 1984, Goldfield began to be resurrected when Robert F. Schuss and his wife, Lou Ann, bought the ghost town with plans to revamp it back to its original glory.
Today, it is a tourist attraction that's open to the public and features ghost and mine tours.
With over 20 seasons under its belt, the popular series Ghost Adventures visited the ghost town to investigate the supernatural activities in Goldfield on its 10th season.
Various spirits are said to roam through the remnants of the town, and countless visitors can back up the findings. At the saloon, you can hear the sorrowful voices and spot a floating apparition behind the bar.
A mysterious figure in a cowboy hat lingers at the bordello, accompanied by knocks, bangs, unexplained noises, and some guests even walk out with scratches.
Ooh. When it comes to the Superstition Mountains, urban legends run rampant. If you want to camp near Goldfield, Arizona, you can check out the Phoenix area. This coast town is located just east of there, and so there are a lot of campgrounds. We've stayed at the Mesa Apache Junction KOA.
There's also the Lost Dutchman State Park, which is a good place to camp and explore. Superstition Mountains offers lots of dispersed camping options.
There are also a fair number of harvest host sites in Apache Junction.
And now, to be more confusing, our next stop is Goldfield, Nevada.
Now, this is one we've been to.
Yeah, this is the one we've been to. After a significant gold discovery in 1904, Goldfield grew to be the wealthiest and largest city in Nevada, boasting 3 newspapers, 5 banks, a mining stock exchange, and what was most likely the longest bar in the country, boxing promoter Tex Richards' Northern Saloon, which required 80 bartenders to handle its clientele.
But it's the historic and reportedly haunted Goldfield Hotel that tends to command the eye. Originally opened in 1908, the Goldfield Hotel was deemed the most luxurious hotel between Chicago and San Francisco.
This impossible-to-miss stone and brick building was equipped with the most unfathomable luxuries at the time, like phones, electricity, an elevator, and even a heating system.
Wow. Said to have champagne flowing down the entryway steps on opening day, the lobby was opulently decorated with rich mahogany, overstuffed black leather furniture, gleaming gold leaf ceilings, and crystal chandeliers.
But the reason we're here, paranormal experts consider Goldfield to be one of the most haunted places on Earth.
On Earth.
The television teams from Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures have both made multiple visits, especially to the Goldfield Hotel, where all kinds of energy remains from some seriously sordid ends to guests and residents' lives, including that of George Wingfield's mistress.
Ghost hunting tours are available of this alleged portal to the underworld, as well as the also super haunted Goldfield Historic High School across the street.
While you're visiting Goldfield, there is also the International Car Forest, which really could be a Goofy USA segment. In fact, it probably will be
Coming
someday.
up soon. You can also visit Florence Mine and tour the grounds, machinery, and the last working hoist house in town. Plus, a pen outside where the mine's owners keep their pet burros.
We camped at Goldfield RV Park, and we even have an interview with the proprietor there.
Walker Lake is a little bit away, and it has very nice campground with covered picnic tables and dry camping overlooking the lake.
Yeah.
Next up is Calico Ghost Town Regional Park in California.
This was a silver mining town in the Mojave Desert. In 1881, 4 prospectors saw a calico-colored mountain peak and started mining operations.
They discovered silver, and the Silver King Mine was California's largest silver producer in the mid-1880s.
A post office was established in 1882, and the town soon supported 3 hotels, 5 general stores, a meat market, bars, brothels, and 3 restaurants, and a boarding house.
The county even established a school district there.
The town was ultimately purchased by Walter Knott of Knott's Berry Farm fame in 1951.
Walter's uncle had grub-staked the original mine operations, and the Knott family had worked at the mine. Now it is operated as an attraction by San Bernardino County Regional Parks.
In 2005, the State Senate and State Assembly agreed to list Bodie as the official state Gold Rush ghost town and Calico as the official state Silver Rush ghost town.
That way they didn't have to fight.
Yeah. Kill each other and have more ghosts.
Visitors can see restored and newly built buildings made of wood with a simple rustic architecture and a severely weathered appearance.
Some structures still stand, dating back to the town's operational years. Lil's Saloon, the town office, the former home of Lucy Lane, which is now the main museum, but was originally the town's post office and courthouse. Smitty's Gallery, the general store, and Joe's Saloon.
There is also a replica of the schoolhouse on the site of the original building. The one-time homes of the town's Chinese citizens exist as ruins only, and only a portion of one rock wall remains of the former family residential area on the nearby bluff.
According to local legend, Calico is home to a variety of spirits, many of whom inhabit the ruins of the former schoolhouse. Visitors claim to have seen specters of both teachers and students haunting the building, as well as a mysterious red ball of light.
Lucy Lane, a resident who ran the general store alongside her husband and lived in Calico until her passing, is a predominant spirit in the ghost town. Lucy is often seen in a black lace dress walking back and forth between her home and the store.
The last marshal of Calico, Tumbleweed Harris, keeps an eye on the town from beyond the grave, and visitors have spotted him on Main Street.
The hauntings don't end there. Maggie's Mine, Hank's Hotel, and Calico Corral all have accounts of paranormal activity, and visitors have reported unexplained chills, their faces touched, and their clothes tugged.
For those of you who might be joining us on our Route 66 adventure next year, this will be a stop on that adventure.
And we also have a video about our Calico ghost town visit.
And nearby attractions include Barstow Station, Rainbow Basin, Zizek's Desert Study Center,
where I have had some experiences myself.
Ooh. For camping, there's a KOA and you can camp right on the property. That's where we camped.
There's also dispersed camping on BLM land. There's usually a lot of off-road and shooting activities in the area, so be warned.
And Peggy Sue's Diner is a Harvest Host location and has a fun atmosphere and good menu.
They do not, however, give discounts to people named Peggy Sue.
Rude. Cerro Gordo, California.
Strangely, I actually have driven through Cerro Gordo, taking a really, really bad route into Saline Valley many, many years ago. It was very, very rough driving. Part of the time we literally, I think, were following a wash. It's not a great idea, but I do remember passing this little abandoned town and wondering about the history at the time.
Cerro Gordo means fat hill in Spanish, and it's got its name from the Mexicans who regularly searched the area for silver. By 1869, Cerro Gordo was actually the largest producer of silver and lead in the nation.
In its peak, the town was home to several mines, hundreds of structures, most were of the ramshackle variety, bars, a general store, and a hotel.
The isolated nature of the town led to much lawlessness, as gunfights were recorded in its time.
The prosperity of Cerro Gordo was short-lived. By 1877, a fire raged throughout the mines, burning down much of the infrastructure.
Falling silver and lead prices were the final straw, and most of the inhabitants left as quickly as they came.
If you're really into the history of mining towns, you will want to check out the YouTube channel Ghost Town Living. Brent Underwood now owns the town, and he does a weekly update on how he's progressing in exploration and rebuilding of the town.
His episode about the bunkhouse is particularly chilling.
If you visit the area, you might want to also visit Lone Pine, which is a lovely little town with a couple of nice museums, and Owens Lake has a very good history.
As for camping, you really don't want to drag an RV up to Cerro Gordo, but you can camp in, there's a number of campgrounds in Lone Pine, and then drive up.
There's also dispersed camping at Alabama Hills, where we have stayed.
Yep.
Let's take a little bit of a break from gold towns. We'll probably be back.
Yes.
But let's talk about Kennecott Mines, National Historic Landmark in Alaska.
It was once a booming copper mining town, now deserted, but with reports of workers and visitors hearing phantom miner voices.
In the summer of 1900, two prospectors, Tarantula Jack Smith and Clarence Warner, spotted a green patch far above them in an improbable location for a grass-green meadow.
The green turned out to be malachite. The Bonanza mine and surrounding deposits were, at one time, the richest known concentration of copper in the world.
From 1909 until 1938, except when it closed temporarily in 1932, Kennecott Mines produced over 4.6 million tons of ore.
From 1939 until the mid-1950s, Kennecott was deserted except for a family of 3 who served as the watch people.
In the 1980s, Kennecott became a popular tourist destination as people came to see the old mines and buildings. However, the town of Kennecott was never repopulated. Today, Kennecott is accessible by air or unimproved road. A shuttle takes visitors that last 4.5 miles.
Visitors may tour the abandoned mill, hike to abandoned mines, but they are strenuous full-day hikes, with Erie Mine being a somewhat terrifying scramble along cliffs overlooking the Stairway Icefall.
Local guide services offer these hikes if one would like some route-finding assistance.
Paranormal activity is reported, including hearing disembodied voices, seeing objects move on their own, and observing phantom shapes.
Gravestones have mysteriously disappeared.
These alleged hauntings are often attributed to the spirits of former miners and railroad workers who died under difficult and dangerous conditions in the remote Alaska mining town.
If you're going there, you're probably going to see a lot of things, because if you go to Alaska, you're going to see Alaska. Dispersed camping is allowed on pullouts along McCarthy Road on the way to the town, and there is one small campground in the national park. Okay, now let's really leave the West and go to Cahaba Archaeological Park in Alabama.
This is the first permanent state capital of Alabama. Because it is located at the confluence of the Alabama and Cahaba rivers, the town endured regular flooding.
Whoops. It also had a reputation for an unhealthy atmosphere when people thought that the miasma in the air caused such diseases as malaria, yellow fever, and cholera.
The numerous mosquitoes carried disease. When Cahaba was connected to a railroad in 1859, a building boom was stimulated.
During the Civil War, the Confederate government seized Cahaba's railroad and appropriated the iron rails to extend a nearby railroad of more military importance.
It built a stockade around a large cotton warehouse on the riverbank along Arch Street in order to use it as a prison, known as Castle Morgan.
It was used for Union prisoners of war from 1863 to 1865.
After a major flood in 1865, the state capital was moved and Cahaba became defunct.
Although the area is no longer inhabited, the Alabama Historical Commission maintains the site as Old Cahaba Archaeological Park. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1973.
Visitors to the park can see many of the abandoned streets, cemeteries, and ruins of this former state capital and county seat that became a Civil War prison camp with reported ghosts of children, slaves, and prisoners.
It's also home to a phenomenon known as Pegwa's ghost. During the American Civil War, C.C. Pegwas raised a rifle company from his home in Cahaba and led them as its colonel. Shortly before Pegwas died in battle in 1862, a couple reported seeing a glowing orb that became known as Pegwas' ghost.
As for camping, there is an Army Corps campground right nearby. Now we're going to Montana, to Bannack, the first state capital, and now a ghost town.
It's a classic gold rush town. It was founded in 1862 and was home to 10,000 people at its height before it was abandoned.
It was also home to Henry Plummer, whose biography seems tailor-made for ghost stories.
Before arriving in Bannack, Plummer was the sheriff of Nevada County, California, where he was known for playing both sides of the law, and where he eventually joined a gang of bandits.
Upon arriving in Bannack to prospect for gold, Plummer again convinced the town people to elect him sheriff.
When the nearby Virginia city came into existence in 1866, the road connecting the two cities became one of the most dangerous trails in the West. A group of road agents called the Innocents were terrorizing the town.
A group of Bannack miners eventually formed a posse and hanged several of the innocents, as well as the sheriff, who was rumored to lead the gang. Grave robbers later decapitated Plummer's body.
Ooh. In 1954, the ghost town was turned into a state park and is now open to the public year-round. The town offers guided ghost walks during the fall and is considered arguably the best preserved ghost town in the U.S.
According to local legend, if you wander through Bannack, you might see the headless sheriff's ghost.
Visitors experience cold spots and the echoes of children crying at Hotel Meade, the former courthouse, and the apparition of a young woman identified as Dorothy Dunn, a teenager who drowned in a dredge pond.
As for camping, Bannack is now part of the Bannack State Park, which has a couple of campgrounds so you can be close by. You might make this part of a road trip to Yellowstone, just a few hours away. And if you need to add another sticker to your map, Idaho is nearby as well.
And if you're spending that much time, you might as well check out Garnett, Montana, which is another ghost town.
Now in Connecticut, we have Dudleytown, an abandoned settlement in the dark entry forest.
That location alone is enough to pique my interest.
Maybe we shouldn't include Dudleytown because it is on private property and visitors are not allowed.
The landowners the Dark Entry Forest Association, have made entry illegal to stop the damage from thrill seekers, vandals, and other trespassers.
Dudleytown was actually never an actual town. The name was given at an unknown date to a portion of Cornwall that included several members of the Dudley family who settled there in the early 1740s.
Still, there is a good amount of information on the haunting of the town. A local rumor alleges that the founders of the town were descended from Edmund Dudley, an English nobleman who was beheaded for treason during the reign of Henry VII.
From that moment on, the Dudley family was placed under a curse which followed them across the Atlantic to America.
This curse is blamed for instances of crop failure, mental illness, violent deaths, and suicides in the village.
Like any good cursed location, Dudleytown is said to be home to a series of misfortunes that have befallen the residents.
In 1764, Native Americans killed the wife and child of Nathaniel Carter before scalping Carter himself.
In 1792, Gershon Hollister either fell off his barn and died or was murdered at a neighbor's house.
In 1872, Mary Cheney Greeley, wife of the presidential candidate Horace Greeley, hanged herself the week before the election.
Well, did he win or lose?
I'm not sure.
It is thought that the land was originally occupied by the Mohawk Nation as sacred ground.
The village's decline has also been attributed to its distance from clean drinking water and unsuitable soil for cultivation.
As for camping, do you really want to camp close to this place? Okay, then you might check out Housatonic Meadows and Kent Falls State Parks. I read that it's very beautiful country.
Speaking of beautiful country, we're going to go to Pennsylvania, where Centralia is going to make the list because of the weird circumstances of its notoriety.
This was a coal mining town that is mostly abandoned due to an underground fire.
In the late 1800s, Centralia was a thriving coal mine town with a population of about 2,700.
Technically, Centralia is not an abandoned town since, as of 2020, 5 people reportedly live there.
However, it makes up for this in eeriness and potential for actual ghosts because Centralia is literally on fire and has been for decades.
Yeah, an abandoned coal mine caught fire in 1962, and it's been smoldering underground ever since.
Residents understandably evacuated, and the town never recovered.
Over time, the population dropped to the handful who remain today. When they pass, the state will take over the property through eminent domain.
Currently, the town doesn't even have a zip code, and up until the 2006 horror movie Silent Hill, which cited Centralia as an inspiration, few people knew the place even existed.
The coal seam fueling the fire is expected to last another 250 years.
Whoa.
And in the meantime, there's not a lot visitors can or should do there, given the presence of toxic chemicals.
While supernatural hauntings aren't a feature, the feeling of a town haunted by its past and the environmental disaster is a common theme.
Cam,
I mean, come on.
Right?
We looked at camping possibilities, but really it's recommended that you don't go near this toxic, fire-ravaged area.
However, Locust Lake State Park, what a name, is not too far away if you choose to risk becoming one of the town's ghosts.
Why not just visit Hershey instead?
Yeah, they have chocolate.
How about we head to West Virginia and visit Thurmond in the New River Gorge National Park and Preserve.
It's a former hub for coal and lumber, now mostly abandoned. The historic town of Thurmond, located in the heart of New River Gorge, was established by Captain William D. Thurmond in the late 1880s.
I wonder where they got the name.
I don't know. It's like magic.
Captain Thurmond's vision for the 73 acres of land bordering the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad line was to serve the miners working in the area's coal mine and to become a prosperous community for the workers and their families.
For decades, the only way into Thurmond was by rail. By the time a road was built, the town was already in decline.
In 1930, a fire. A fire.
Yeah.
No one ever catches on fire. A fire led to the closure of the 100-room Dun Glen Hotel, a nationally known resort at the time, furthered the decline.
It's done burned down, apparently. The final blow was the Great Depression. By 1950, Thurmond was a ghost town.
Today, most of the town is owned by the National Park Service. The Thurmond Train Depot has been restored and houses the National Park Service Visitor Center, open in the summer months.
Like a few others on our list, it's not really a ghost town because a handful of people live there, but literally a handful. The well-preserved buildings, including hotels, a bank, and the train depot, will give you a sense of the town's golden era. The eerie atmosphere of Thurmond leads many to believe that this almost abandoned town is haunted. You can find out for yourself on a Thurmond walking tour. A number of paranormal investigations have been led in the town.
Numerous stories of spooky activity have been reported at the train depot, the post office, and the Pugh House, which was once a restaurant, and several houses in the lower end part of town.
By the way, be forewarned, Thurmond Road is a winding and narrow road at times. Large vehicles over 25 feet in length and trailers are not recommended.
Because of that, you'll do well to make this a day trip with your smaller vehicle. You can stay at a Harvest Host site at Cantrell Ultimate Rafting, where you might want to spend another day on a thrill of a different sort.
Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Gettysburg is famous for its role in the Civil War, and we got to take a most excellent tour thanks to our friend Bill.
With all the death and destruction that is part of any war, there are certainly ghost stories. In fact, Gettysburg is considered by some as Pennsylvania's most haunted city.
What is today the Gettysburg Hotel was a hospital during the war, and, of course, ghosts are plentiful, including one named Rachel, who was believed to be a nurse during the bloody battle. She is known to wander the rooms, digging through the guest drawers and luggage, and pushing carts haphazardly around the hotel. She wants to make more ghosts.
I guess. Hey, who's that digging in my drawers? A Union soldier who perished in the hospital is often seen wandering the hotel's halls too. For those who want to experience ghosts, the hotel is definitely a good place to start. There are lots of places to find ghosts, including the Jenny Wade house, where the matron was baking on the last day of the battle and was struck by a stray bullet.
She is said to still roam the residence, and visitors can hear her banging and the voice of a young child.
There is reportedly paranormal activity all over Gettysburg, and there are tour companies that can help you find what you're looking for.
There's even a haunted covered bridge.
As for camping, Gettysburg Campground is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Gettysburg proper on Marsh Creek, with over 200 RV sites, plus cottages and cabins.
Or, if you're spending a lot more time in Pennsylvania, you can do like we did and stay about an hour away at Gifford Pinchot State Park.
Lastly, we're going to Colorado to St. Elmo, a former mining town where visitors report strange occurrences, including seeing a mysterious woman on a horse.
Founded in 1880, St. Elmo was home to over 150 silver and gold mines. By 1890, St. Elmo was flourishing and the population reached 2,000 residents.
In 1881, Anton Stark, his wife, and 3 children arrived in town, contributing significantly to its growth. A businessman to the core, Stark worked as a section boss for the most profitable mine, ran the general store, and took control of the town's hotel.
By 1890, St. Elmo was flourishing, and the population reached 2,000 residents. A hotspot for supplies to the surrounding small towns, St. Elmo was relatively calm as far as crime was concerned, and men mostly made up the population.
Like most western ghost towns, St. Elmo was partly destroyed by, surprise, surprise, a fire in 1890 and was never fully restored.
Mines depleted and closed, and the population dwindled.
By 1922, the railroad connecting St. Elmo to the rest of existence took its final ride, and the last of the settlers went with it.
The only residents to stay as it transformed into a ghost town were the predominant Stark family, who spent years to come trying to revive St. Elmo.
In 1979, the United States recognized St. Elmo as a historic district, and soon after, it became a unique tourist attraction that's open to the public, showcasing what life was like out in the Old West.
Today, St. Elmo is one of the best preserved ghost towns, and the general store and hotel are fully functioning businesses. Well, then that's not a ghost town.
Yeah, right? One of the Stark family daughters, Annabelle, lived a troubled life, including a failed marriage and an unsuccessful stint as a telegraph operator in a nearby town. I wonder, if she had the shakes and tried to be a telegraph.
Oh, and she stuttered. When her mother passed, Annabelle took control of the family's general store. Her personal appearance and hygiene deteriorated, leading to her current nickname, Dirty Annie.
She also began patrolling St. Elmo with a rifle, hoping to protect it like her family had.
Today, it's said she can still be spotted keeping her vigil.
Great, a dirty ghost. Hey, what's that smell? This part of Colorado is beautiful and very popular. In the heart of the Rocky Mountains, there are many small towns popular for outdoor activities like camping and skiing.
When I go, I plan to spend a lot of time exploring the mountain towns and St. Elmo.
Well, there you have it. Our 13 ghost towns, most of which you can visit, and the places to camp nearby. And speaking of ghosts,
Ooh.
In honor of our favorite mattress for home or on the road, Ghost Bed gave us a 25% discount, linked in our show notes.
Don't let a bad mattress scare you. We've been fans of Ghost Bed for a while.
Yeah, that's true. You will be no longer haunted by a miserable night's sleep. Speaking of being haunted, we can haunt you once a week in your email inbox with our once a week newsletter. And it's free. And there's not even a ghost of a chance that you will be spammed or that we will share your information.
It's scary to think of it.
Oh, it is.
You'll find the show notes for this episode, number 331, on the podcast page at StressLessCamping.com, where you can also check out our favorite RV products and services page for all the things you'll need on your stressless camping adventure.
Of course, we're haunting all the social places, but you can start at StressLessCamping.com and from there, jump off to all the places that we're all wasting time, let's be honest.
Or float off.
Ooh, float off. Float off, float off.
If you're listening by audio, you don't want to miss a future episode of the Stressless Camping Podcast. It's free to subscribe on any podcast catcher, and we are saving you a seat around our spooky campfire.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, we can pause a moment while you find that like button, maybe the share button, and heck, even leave a comment. All of that is super much appreciated.
And don't forget to subscribe. And, you can even hit the share button, go over to one of your social places, hit paste, and you will share this episode or one of the other episodes with your friends on socials.
Wow. Well, thank you again for those of you still with us. We appreciate your being here. I'm Tony, that's Peggy. And most of all, we're wishing you
spooky camping.